maybe enjoying that a little bit too much. Good evening,
Just a little bit.
Good evening to you, Ben Austin. How'd you like the new intro?
Oh, I love it, mate. It's great. It's such a great track.
Very good, very good. The sort of energy and vibe you want on a Monday evening at 8 o'clock. Find your home in Portugal. Let's go.
Monday evening in Ibiza.
It did feel a bit like that, didn't it? We should be watching a sunset while quaffing on our Portuguese wines this evening, which presumably you want to mention before we get underway.
Of course, yeah. As is tradition, I've brought along a bit of a wine from my region this evening. This one from the Beira Interior. Now, I'm near Toma. I'm not exactly in the Beira Interior region, but it's pretty close to me. So I thought it's regional enough. This one's a biological red. I haven't read anything at the back here that says the grape varieties that's in it, but if I make like an educated guess, which I'll probably get 100% wrong, but well, you can only try.
It makes it sound like a weapon, a biological red, but it sounds like it's far from it. It's going down well, is it?
Something that's been banned by the Geneva Convention.
Yes. But, rightly so or not? What do you think?
I think Arganege, but I'm liking it so far. It's quite smooth, not too much tanning. What you got over there?
All right, I've got the Mandriola. I'm staying with the whites for as long as I can until I need a warming red, a Lisboa white here with a cool cat. Not unlike yourself, Ben, on the label there. So enjoying that this evening. Sacrilegiously, I didn't have time to chill it properly. I've got ice cubes in the wine. Don't judge me too harshly. A little bit of industry news from you then. What's caught your eye in this last week in episode 3 of Find Your Home in Portugal?
Yes, so there is an event this week regarding Ursula van Leyen, what she had to say about Portuguese real estate market. But before that as well, we've been referring to a lot of changes recently that happened on September 25th. Well, some changes, some that will be still being discussed. Yes. Tonight, it ties in with one of our guests that we have here, which I'm very excited to talk to. The cut on EVA for developments here in Portugal. So if your development's considered within moderate means, we'll talk a bit more about that later on. A lot to unpack there. They've cut the EVA down from 23% to 6% in an effort to make a few more affordable properties here in Portugal as well.
It's a great idea, isn't it? Bobby O'Reilly was talking about this long ago, and finally that looks like it might, as you say, it's a proposal that's put forward, and if it makes it, it will become law, and that
this is one of the ones that's been passed. As far as I'm aware, this one's been
excellent. Okay.
There's a lot to be said though in terms of there's a lot of regulations. It has to be done within a certain area. There's a certain price range, but we can get into all that later when we bring on John as well.
Well, looking forward to speaking to John Wood of valwood.pt. I'm putting that in the chat now so people can see that. He's a regular now on the Good Morning Portugal show, and he's very kindly joining us tonight as well to talk about what he does. And a very exciting idea, I think, for Portuguese society. I was going to say for the building industry, but it extends to being quite the gift to Portuguese society in general when it comes to housing development. So looking forward to talking to him about that. Anything else before we go to our featured real estate agent from the agency, Raphael Chang? What else have you got?
Indeed, step in the right direction. In my personal opinion, needs a bit of tweaking, but step in the right direction nevertheless. As well, we've had some. I don't know whether to be worried. I don't know whether to be excited, but the real estate market in Portugal has caught the eye of the EU. Ursula von Leyen has come out and said that it requires intervention from the EU. And what's his name as well? Dan Jorgensen. That's it. Yeah. Commissioner of Housing for the EU has come out and said that he wants to put a plan together to help combat inflation in the housing market here in Portugal by Christmas.
Right. Okay. This is part of it, is it not? Yes. Europe to propose rules for holiday rental properties as well. So AL is coming under their spotlight. Commissioner responsible for housing sees rentals on platforms like Booking.com and Airbnb as a factor in the reduced number of homes available for long-term rentals. The stories that have been catching our eye to do with real estate, to do with development and architecture, even over there on this thread at the Portugal Club. Anything else from you, Ben, before we talk to Raphael?
That's about it for news this week, personally.
Okay, all right. The headlines there, Europe to propose rules for holiday rentals. This one as well, 80% of homes in Portugal fall into the moderate rent category, which is quite interesting. You might want to follow up as well if you're in.
Again, in quotation, moderate rent.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Since we last broadcast, Portugal house prices overvalued by 35% by another estimation as well. So always lots of talk and speculation in the real estate market here in Portugal. Let's talk to an expert, shall we? Are you ready to go to chat with Raphael?
Let's do it. Let's just jump right in.
Let's give a nice big round of applause and welcome him back to our screens here. How you doing, Raphael?
Good.
We had one or two challenges earlier on trying to bring you on, but I think we can hear you now, can we?
Yes. Yes.
Right.
Can you hear us as well?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, perfect.
Let's sandwich you nicely in between me and Ben from the agency. How you doing? What's your day been like today as a busy real estate agent?
Well, it's been incredible. It starts very early for me, 5 a.m., 5:30. I'm already on. Lots of my colleagues know that I'm a early bird, and sometimes a late owl as well. So,
yes, in the WhatsApp groups, Raphael. I think if we have nicknames, and I think all the agency agents should have nicknames. You're the Dynamo, are you not? Are you happy with that, or would you think of something else?
oh, I'm okay with that.
The Dynamo. Okay. With your superpower of selling real estate from 5 a.m. till what? Late 11, midnight, something like that?
No, it goes till 8 and 9 and probably 10. I'm already eating.
Amazing. Very hard-working real estate agent working with the agency here in Portugal. Tell us a little bit about yourself then before we go to your featured property this evening. How long have you been doing this? How is it working with the agency, and what's your specialist area?
Absolutely. I've been working in real estate with the agency since April, although it feels longer. And I usually tell people that I not only help with real estate, but really relocating people and establishing themselves here in Portugal, whether it's offering visa services, helping with the kids' school, incorporating a business, or just finding a business to start here in Portugal. So I really help from A to Z, everyone that wants to establish themselves, and hopefully from there we can also create a friendship.
Very good. And as a realtor, a buyer's agent in the truest sense there. Sorry, Ben, I'm hogging the guests again. Do you have a question for Raphael?
Not necessarily a question, but it's something I think we've all kind of found along our past, that when you sign up to be an estate agent here in Portugal, especially being an expat, you're not just an estate agent, are you? You end up being people's accountants as well. You end up being people's legal advisors. You build a whole network of people to help them move here.
That's right. That's right. And I think my story with real estate starts really 5 years ago when I first moved here, when I essentially lost money in a deal because I didn't know well how regulation worked or how people dealt with money here in real estate. And I vowed to myself that if I entered to this industry, that I would do everything in the most transparent way possible so that people don't.
Oh, that's a great origin story, backstory, righting the wrongs that from personal experience, right?
That's right. That's
Amazing.
right.
Amazing. So on that note, I mean, I've got a little sort of ticker tape question scrolling at the bottom. What makes a good real estate agent? We'd like to hear that from our viewers and listeners. But what would be your view on that? You mentioned transparency there and perhaps a sort of higher ethical standard. Anything else you'd want to add to that, Raphael?
Oh, I think it's a long list, but I would say be very communicative, try to anticipate any problems that it might happen throughout the whole process. There's so many things that I could point out, but I think the important thing is having a very transparent and proactive communication, because every single transaction is different from each other, just because of the nature of the people, the nature of the property. Everything changes.
It's an industry with a lot of variables, isn't it?
Yes, that's right. There's no one single formula, easy formula. It's always a challenge, but I think we're up to it.
Yeah, well said. Well said. Good to have people like yourself coming into the industry, or being in the industry, I should say. And you've brought us a beauty tonight to take a look at, right? I don't know where Bicesse is. Do you know about this property, Ben? Have you had a look into it? Have you had a chance to? Was it hot off the press for you?
I took a small look at it today, just a brief look through. I haven't seen it in detail. I was hoping we could further it tonight.
Yes. Okay. Your initial impressions, Ben?
So far, so good.
I think Raphael had you at private movie theatre, did he not?
That was something that definitely captivated me. Yes, when we were talking about it back screen.
Yeah.
God, I wish I had one.
Yes. Okay. I'm going to let this video run in the background while you're telling us a bit about it, if you might, Raphael. This is an absolute beauty, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. This property, first of all, it's next to Quinta Patino, one of the most exclusive gated communities here in Cascais area. And since it's neighboring property, that means that the entire zone there is a very safe one, very calm, very convenient. This house features 5 bedrooms in total, and of the five, 3 are suites. There's an office, there's a home, there's a private movie theater, gym, snooker room. So it's quite nice, and the garden itself is amazing. There's a very expensive, lush garden outside. It's really a house of dreams. I think whenever I bring people there, they all in happiness, or they're very happy with what they see inside. It's a very bright home, also, as you can see in the video.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, lots of natural light.
has a lot
Ooh.
of exactly.
A glass-sided bath as well there. That's interesting as well, isn't it? A jacuzzi bath, I should say as well.
Yes.
Amazing, beautiful, beautiful place, and very light and airy, as you say as well. My goodness.
And the interesting thing is that this property can either be
What?
bought or could be rented. So there's these two ways that one could get into this property now.
Okay, all right. So on the market to buy at 1.75 million euros. What's the rental deal? Can you tell us more about that whilst you're with
The
us?
rent 7.5 a month.
Right.
The furniture is not included because the owners thought that the renters would bring their own furniture.
Yeah.
Of course, like anything, we can always negotiate.
Okay, absolutely. Well said. All right, that's beautiful. Well, great video. I think you're enjoying yourself making that video there, and we can skip through a few more of the visuals and stills here. But yeah, beautifully a bright and airy property near to Cascais. People will have heard, if they haven't heard of Bicesse, they will know Cascais, won't they? Of course.
Yes, and it's close to A5. It's very convenient to get to the international schools. So whoever is in schools in Sintra, in the international schools, it's a very easy drive, and you can mostly avoid the morning rush as well. So it's in a great location. It's not too far from Cascais shopping as well. So it's overall it's a great deal.
Very nice, very nice. Any questions, Ben?
It looks beautiful. I was curious about the bar, personally. That's what caught my attention.
Okay, I'll see if I can find that. But there's the
It should be
cinema.
the next.
Yeah, and
That
there is
cinema room just looks lush, doesn't
that's
it?
the bar, isn't it? That's the bar.
There's a
Yeah.
bar. The theme is New York, as you can see in the pictures, and that private area, you can close the doors and have a party, and no one will listen from above.
Amazing.
Would you say it's targeted at families, this type of home, isn't it? With it being close to schools, it being a T5 as well, you can easily see a family settling very well into here.
Yes. I think it's mostly for families, but we also had clients that were young couples that wanted to perhaps sometimes host friends, family, and parties probably.
Oh,
yeah.
Definitely a house with a bar and a movie theatre. Definitely a house for entertaining.
And are you thinking, when you're showing this place to people, that it's very important to become friends with whoever's buying this property, right?
Yes, absolutely. Because these people are looking for properties that rent for 7, 10, 15K, and they're looking the market for something very exclusive and very special.
Yes.
These are very good people to have next to you.
Yes, and of course you'll be watching movies with them and drinking in that bar there. Ben's hoping to be invited along to shake up and test his latest cocktail recipe on the new residents in there as well. That's absolutely beautiful, Raphael. Thank you for being with us this evening. Thank you for sharing a beautiful property with us. Anything you want to share with us before we say goodbye for now? Because I'm sure you'll be back.
Yes, I will be. Or not like the Terminator, but
not in a good way. Yes.
Yeah, in a good way. But yeah, we do have some very amazing properties. Of course, it's not only. I think people have the perception that we only have houses of 1, 5, 10 million, but we have all the entire range. Portugal, and we also have very good commercial real estate plots, businesses. So get in touch, and you'll be surprised by how many different things we have in our portfolio.
Yeah.
And if people want to get in touch, how can they go about doing that?
They can look for Raphael Chang, the agency. If they Google it, they will find me. And then there, they can find my phone number. They can find my email.
Very good. I will make sure people have those details. Raphael.chang at theagencyre.com. The mobile number, you might want to slow this. I know a lot of people watch YouTube's at 1.5 or 2 times speed. Slow down for Raphael's number, the Portuguese code, and 910-284-462. And I'll make sure those details are with this. Any details that go out about this property so that people can get in touch with you. And find him, of course, at the agency as well. Theagencyportugal.com is the website where we saw that property listed. Raphael, have a great... Well, you'll be back to work now, won't you? You're not finished yet, I don't suppose, for the day.
Hasn't clocked out yet.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
There we go. The Dynamo. At least the working title and nickname for you at the moment, Raphael. Thanks for being with us this evening. Cheers, mate. All the best, and bye for now. Right, there we go. That's our friend. Sorry, colleague.
Oh, that's me off.
No, only kidding. Sorry, pressed the wrong button, actually. So, yeah, good to chat with Raphael there. And we have a great guest who, as I said before, is joining the Good Morning Portugal team on a regular slot, a monthly slot, a builder, a creator of dwellings, a renovator of dwellings here in Portugal. An odd... Again, I suppose in the same way that Raphael was talking about having a difficult experience and wanting to right that wrong as a bit of a crusade himself, often that's people's experience with the building industry and renovations here in Portugal, right? I'm sure you've heard some horror stories, Ben, of people trying to get things done in the building industry here in Portugal. I mean, not all 100%. Bad. Yes, yeah.
It's one of the more complicated. I mean, I'm not a developer, but from what I've heard, it's one of the more complicated places in Europe in terms of building codes and regulations.
Yeah, all right. So let's bring him on and say good evening to John Wood, joining us from Leiria, I believe, this evening. Hi, John.
Good evening, Carl. Good evening, Ben.
Good evening.
Good to see you. Good to see you. Was that an appropriate assessment of life as a builder, or even as on the receiving end, wanting to get some renovation work done? How would you assess it? What's your snapshot? What's your experience of being in that business, or even being on the receiving end of that business here in this country?
It is a very complicated industry to be in Portugal. Obviously, we're trying to straddle both parts, renovation and construction, as well as developing affordable housing. Mm-hmm. So we are kind of tackling both issues the best we can, finding our way along the way.
All right. Valwood.pt is where you can find out more about John Wood and what he's doing. And as Ben was immediately interested in a private cinema in the last property, affordable housing and a prototype for such here in Portugal. You had me at that when we first talked on the phone. I think it's amazing, your idea for Portugal. Can you tell us more about that this evening?
So, yeah, we're our affordable housing idea will use modular housing, housing that could be controlled in a controlled environment while it's being built, quicker production times, easier installation on site, a lot of less waiting for trades to be finished, a quicker solution to the problem they're having.
Yes, and perhaps more, how do I put this? Appropriate materials for longevity, yes, sustainability, insulation, yes, and performance that you might get from the traditional concrete carcass that gets built here in this country.
Yeah, from an energy efficiency standpoint, from a longevity of use standpoint, it's a much better way of building. Yeah. Not to say that there's anything wrong with the Portuguese way of building. It's just utilizing older technology. Yes. We intend to bring newer technologies to bear that we feel can. We're never going to solve the issue, but we can at least try to address it in our own way.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, there's only so much a small team can do. But I think you're in a position of making an amazing impact with this. Ben, I'm doing it again. I'm hogging our guest. But I do want to find out from John what the game plan is for getting this off the ground and what sort of help you need and what your experience of it is.
Well, right now we are working with multiple manufacturers coming up. I was hoping to have a rendering by tonight, but as it's Portugal, things take time. So we're waiting on renderings right now. With the elections just finishing off here in Leiria, we are planning meetings with the municipality. We have some set up with leaders within Leiria as well as other municipalities, to talk about this idea and see if we can gain traction. Our first essential feat we need to complete is we are trying to do a modular model home, essentially a small plot of land, either donated by the municipality or something purchased, that we can put 2 of the units on. Our goal in these complexes is not to have a large variety of units. We plan on focusing mostly on what the Portuguese and essential workers need. T1, T2, T3, T4, those aren't really cost effective for affordable housing projects. So we're kind of trying to focus in the middle, single individuals, very small families, and just kind of work up from there. The key is to build enough of them to make it cost effective versus the standard patio construction.
Yes. Yeah. Very interesting. Sorry, Ben, go ahead.
No problem. You were telling me over the phone, John, you were kind enough to give me a bit of walk me through what you're doing on a phone call before the show tonight. And you were telling me about you have 25 years experience of working in construction in the US.
Yeah.
What are some of the key differences you found between the US and Portugal?
So the biggest difference is in the United States, everything's very regulated. Everything's very inspection driven. And the inspections are actually performed by the city or the state. So you have attainable timelines and attainable goals you have to do throughout a project. Here, a lot of the responsibility for these timelines fall on engineers and architects and whatever representatives they use as far as for the OBRISH and whatnot. That's something we're trying to address. We're trying to partner with a local engineer and a local architect, younger architects, younger engineers, people we can grow with, and that will be more receptive to using these new technologies in building projects.
Nicely put. And is that more of a, would you say in the States, a bit more collaborative, gets the job done, and there are other sort of agendas here that make it a little bit more stodgy and not flow so quickly?
Yeah, there are some obstacles too. It's a lot more political here. It's a lot more instant need versus wanting to plan out for the long term. And what we're trying to do is set up a game plan that can be recreatable, municipality, district wide, nationwide. Something that can be just picked up one place and put in another place. And
that's a standardized unit.
Exactly. The way they build Mercadonna's so fast, or the way they build Burger King so fast. It's one set of plans that just keep going through whatever municipality it is. So there's not a lot of changes. There's not a lot of adapting. It's all basically cookie cutter. And that's what modular housing allows.
And that's a model people could understand. As soon as you said that, it's how Mercadona gets built. It's like, they don't mess about, do they?
They just built one down the street, and I didn't even know it was there. It appeared in a few months.
Snuck up on you.
Yeah, at Burger King's, McDonald's, it seems like when they have a direct framework of plans that have already been approved, have already moved through the inspection periods, wherever it may be, it's recreatable. And that seems to be the problem with custom builders and stuff like that. Everything's different. They're always trying to push the envelope on what concrete and bricks can do. We're just trying to get something simple and say, here's what we have. It's instantly recreatable if you like the idea, and we can build these at scale and install them fast. So that's kind of the model we're trying to approach.
I'd love to know more about the kind of the finish, the building ethic, and what it's going to cost. Have you got that far with the project?
I've got some rough numbers right now. We're looking at, like I said, mostly T1, T2. Each unit is comprised of boxes, let's say. And when you say boxes, everybody thinks of shipping containers, and this is not a shipping container home. These are welded steel boxes with SIP panels, basically insulated panels for the subfloor and walls, rock wool insulation, double layer sheetrock, all the fixes and finishes you'd have in a regular rental or a regular home, to hopefully include air exchange systems, to hopefully be pre-wired for air conditioning. These are all luxuries and not a necessity, so to speak. We're trying to shoot for an average sale price in the high 100s. Mostly we're trying to attract the rental market. We're trying to get more rental units on the market. And I know you guys were joking in the previous segment. I know affordable housing says 2,300 and less, but affordable housing truly starts at €1,000 and less.
Yes.
Realistically, to be something we can use for the Portuguese population, it needs to be sub 700 or less.
Yes.
I couldn't agree more with that. We're talking about a country that has, what is it, 870 is their minimum wage?
Yeah, and the thing is that this is something I discovered over the past couple months as we were doing this, as we were talking more and more. It's the amount of people who want housing who are living with parents. It's the married couples that can't get divorced because they can't find another place. It's a lot of the Portuguese people have barriers to entry into rental properties, notwithstanding the price. So availability, price, these are all things we're trying to address. And I can't solve this problem. We can't solve this problem. We need other builders to see this method and agree that it's the proper way forward and step up and, copy what we're doing.
Yeah, that's a great approach, isn't it? And there's an opening here, isn't there, for the many expats, immigrants, foreigners who are wealthy. They might be more the people who are renting the sort of property or buying the properties that Raphael's talking about, and also want to give back to this culture that's been so welcoming and that they love so much. So presumably there's a development and investment aspect to this, which would help with the development and purchase of these, such that they could become rental homes for the people who really need them.
Absolutely. We have lots of investment ideas to fund these projects. Right now, we have to get past the initial stages. We have to get past the bureaucracy, getting in front of the right people, getting approved to be, part of a public-private partnership. Then we have to get the proof of concept, the model home. And then at that point, we can tweak the plan, not just to serve the municipalities. There's a world where we can support the municipalities with affordable housing for essential workers, for students, for distressed individuals. But then this could also be converted to larger units that could be used for more affordable rentals or stability rentals for expats.
Yeah. Everybody's got to live somewhere, right? This is a very, very important issue, and in the way that Raphael said, the agency, people think the agency only do multi-million-pound luxury homes. Our interest here with Find Your Home in Portugal is that everybody has somewhere decent to live, and that's a problem. That is a challenge at the moment, and arguably one that hasn't been cracked here in Portugal and in other countries all around the world. And this is great news to hear this. What help do you need, John? I mean, we have a sort of far-reaching, eclectic community here. What's needed for the collaboration on this, know-how and connection?
Well, right now it boils down to getting the plan together, getting in front of the municipalities. Once we get to that point, there will be heavily invested. We're trying to go for using the Portugal 2030 and EU 2030 grant money funds.
Yeah.
We've identified a lot that we can fall within, which will help up to 60% of the development. But there's still going to be 40% of the developments that's going to need to be funded somehow. Yes. So at a certain point, we will be asking for private funding, whether from venture capital, I'm not sure how that's going to align, or private individuals that want to fund. Yeah. My hope is that they actually finally put there's a visa that was formed under the Golden Visa. And it's an investment visa of 350,000 euros that aligns with residency and also funds affordable housing projects.
Yeah.
And it was shelved when the last government dissolved, I assume. I really wish that would be brought back up, because it would be a way that we could help the community by affording the projects, and we could also help other expats immigrate to Portugal.
It is so obvious, isn't it, to make an investment vehicle in Portugal provide affordable housing for Portuguese people. I mean, it's so obvious. Ben, I think you were leaning in to ask something of John.
You were talking about some grants that the Portuguese government giving out. Would you perchance know if that's part of the, 1.3 billion they borrowed off the EU recently? That would be falling under that category.
It is, yes. So far, from what I understand, the first round of funding has already expired. That was 100% financing under that plan. Right now, depending on the amount of qualifying aspects of your project, I think the max cap will be able to hit is 65% of the project. This will also be part of the EU funding as well, the EU 2030 plan, because when we get into the larger scale, our plan involves 40 and 100 unit developments, and we plan to anchor them with solar farms, up to 1 megawatt per facility, which should allow us to get another 18% funding from the EU as well. And then also making the properties 70 to 80% self-sustained as far as power goes.
Yeah. This is ticking a lot of boxes, isn't it? Fantastic. So good luck.
It's a passion project.
Yeah, well, good luck to you. And
thank you.
So it sounds like the first step is finding an open-minded municipality who might provide a space to build and develop it, and to be supportive, generally speaking, to prototype the idea.
Exactly. And once we get a partnership with the municipality, that will open doors up to lots of different things we need. Assistance in the building departments, assistance with speed of access to building permits. Under the affordable housing proposals that they have on the books, it's supposed to reduce waiting times for permits by half, which would be very helpful. Yeah. And then, just the fact of being able to say, hey, we have this proof of concept. Would you guys be interested? And that's kind of the next step.
Very good.
Luckily, here in Lidia, we have a very receptive local government. Gonzalo Lopez won his election. Yeah. And this is essential worker housing, and affordable housing is one of his key proposals.
Good timing, isn't it? It's good time, because I think him and others who are either into their refreshed term of office, or new ones coming in with bright ideas and eager to please, could really pick up on this idea that you're sharing with us tonight.
I think so. I think it's a win-win for everybody. Like I said, it's a passion project. I've wanted to do a development like this even back in the States. A lot of times back in the States, you're building to the higher dollar, and the problem with affordable housing doesn't end in Portugal. It's a worldwide concern. And I've evaluated lots of different building techniques, and honestly, modular housing ticks all the boxes.
Well, we've got some questions on that. Jürgen, our mate from Damp Guard, good evening to you. Jürgen, good to see you. Good to see you, Jackie and Adrian as well in the chat this evening. I've heard that Bombaral is very open to negotiation. I was there yesterday at the Buddha Eden Garden. What an amazing place to build a development of the kind you're speaking of. They really want more people to come and live there. Jürgen, if you can open a door for us there, that'd be great. Or for John.
I'm happy to talk to anyone.
I'm sure. Cookie cutter. We've got a British translation here, John. Biscuit slicer. Okay. I've never heard of a biscuit slicer. But anyway, you could stick these, as in the buildings, the modular units you're talking about, inside the walls of ruined villages without needing any planning permission whatsoever. I think with the right municipality. What about them? Please discuss this. Could they be part of a new eco village in a more remote location with fiber optic and have a new kind of Portuguese village development?
This absolutely could happen. And I think that the government is just now seeing, like Ben was talking about with the reduction of EVA, with the push of regulations nowadays towards low-cost housing. I think that projects like this, maybe not at 100 scale, maybe not at a 40 scale, maybe scaled a little bit lower, could help a lot of these little villages, attract more people to live there, make it more affordable to live there, and revitalize the communities.
I'd love that. That would be such a beautiful nod in the direction of traditional Portugal, whilst repopulating the village and going and people having access to those old ways and arguably a much more enjoyable and rural way of life. But let's see what happens with that. Ben, any more?
With this cookie cutter thing, I'm not familiar with it, but supposedly if it's something you're going to connect to the mains and you're going to connect water to it, you're going to need, here in Portugal, you're going to need planning permission for it.
Yep. We're going to have we already are drawing up plans and renderings for every single model we're intending to build. By cookie cutter, that's an American expression. I guess I didn't really realize that. Basically just something that's easily replicatable, something that you can take the plans and say, look, we've built these here. We made no changes. They're the exact same plans. and that helps speed the process along because there's no need to dive into them and see what changes you've made.
Yes. Jackie keen to build without planning permission. Jackie, you've got to stop that.
You absolutely need permission for certain things.
For most uncertain things there, Jackie. But I don't blame you. But tonight we're talking about this big vision of affordable housing on a scale that is unheard of at the moment, and that is clearly a massive need in this country. And John has a fantastic solution for that. Adrian offering help with the Hawaiian royal family as well. So we might have made a few connections for you tonight, John. I hope we have. And I'd love to see this come out of the ground and get that sort of validation and support and collaboration that you're talking about. You mentioned it might be worth talking about your partnership here, because you're an incomer, which I think brings its own challenges, doesn't it? If you haven't grown up here and you're not connected and grown up with people in this culture, you don't have the same sort of connections as a Portuguese person might have. And here is your Portuguese partner in this project. Can you tell us a little bit about this chap here?
My Portuguese partner is Luis Valentin. He's a good friend I made here. His son and my son are best friends, so obviously we met at all the school functions and whatnot. As I was trying to develop the business, hitting the roadblocks graciously mentioned, the bureaucracy here moves very easy when you have locals helping you. Yes. And so he stepped in and we talked about the vision. We talked about the plan. He's obviously also on board with the remodeling for expats, which we're also going to do as well.
Forgot to mention that.
Yeah, the main company is Valwood Construction and Remodeling. Yes. So we're going to keep the lights on with the construction and remodeling while we try to build our bigger dream.
We'll have a chance to talk to you about that tomorrow. You're
exactly
on the Good Morning Portugal shows. That will be an ongoing conversation about getting your place remodeled or renovated here in Portugal, and John's going to help us with that. So looking forward to chatting with you in the morning, John.
Yeah, definitely. This actual vision came from my business partner. I don't think he intended it to, but he sent me a small. He's from Luria. He's been here his whole life, but he's worked half the month in Norway for the past couple of years. And he sent me an article randomly about an affordable housing development in Norway. And it was a 7-hectare, 600-unit development. And it was beautiful. And it just sparked the interest that if that's available to be built in Norway, then why can't we build that here? Yeah. And that I think without him knowing, that kind of kicked off this whole idea.
Yeah, it was only a casual text.
Yeah, he sent me a casual text with a picture. He's like, here, check this out. Here's the article that goes with it. And I stayed up 2 days probably just kind of hammering out what I would do different.
Did you? Yeah. Amazing. Yeah,
so.
Well, Find Your Home in Portugal hopefully will include an affordable housing project that we can track the development of and proudly reveal with you one of these evenings, John, sometime in the future. The problem we've got tonight is you've been far too interesting. This is normally only a 30-minute show, and we've run over time, and we've kept you away from your dinner probably this evening. But thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate it.
No problem. And in tradition, I brought green wine.
Hold on a minute.
Vinho Verde.
Let's have a quick look at that. What's he got there? Okay. And that's a nice refresher at the end of a hard day, right?
It absolutely is. I'm a fan of the green wine. I had never had it until moving to Portugal.
Oh, excellent. What a lovely discovery. Fantastic. A lovely way to refresh yourself after a hard day on site. John, I look forward to your company again and chatting with you in the morning. A last word from you. I mean, is there a request or anything you want to share with everybody before you go tonight?
Not really. I just I appreciate you guys having me on and letting me speak about my passion project. I can't wait to update you when we get more forward movement. Excellent. All right. Good luck with it. And we'll see you in the morning and in due course, of course, to track the progress of the project. Cheers, mate. All the best. Thank you so much, guys. All right. See you tomorrow. Até amanhã. Ben, very good. What an interesting show. Episode 3. Very good. Very good. I think we're getting the hang of this now. We're getting into a rhythm, aren't we? We're getting a bit. We are. It's a matter of practice. And how has your Berra Interior Red gone down this evening? Well, it's not gone down as much as the last one. I have to be honest. I've still got quite a bit left in the bottle, but I'll be sure to work through that for the rest of the evening.
Good man. Adrian says, I haven't had to ask the camera for permission to do anything on my Predial Vivenda, but wouldn't suit dropping units in. But big local ruin factory by main crossroads might be the business. Again, old industrial sites could be cleared or modified for the sort of modular housing that John's talking about. There's all sorts of possibilities with this.
I had a friend of mine who was he was a project manager in London. He worked on something similar, rebuilding one of the old warehouses, converting it into a residential. I think it was a residential area. It was student accommodation.
Yeah, it can be done, can't it? And it's just a little bit of. I think what will change the game with this is a municipality or a camera, a visionary mayor or worker inside there saying, yeah, we should try this, and championing it from within inside the establishment, if you like, here in Portugal. Thank you, Jackie, for your company. Great show. Thanks all. So our thanks to John, to Raphael, the Dynamo. What's your agency nickname? Tudo bem, is it?
To the Ben. Well, I think that's something you've titled me with, really. To the Ben.
I don't know how happy you are with that, but
I'll live with it. It's one of these things you can't choose your nickname, can you? It gets attributed to you. You stick with it and you move on.
It is bestowed upon you. Okay, so thanks, Ben, or Tudo bem. Thanks to the Dynamo, Raphael Chang, and thanks to John Wood. John Modular Man. That was his.
It's like a superhero, isn't it?
Yeah,
Modular Man.
His Marvel name is Modular Man, and his superhero, super. What is it called? What's it called?
Standardizer.
No, but what's it called? Your gift as a superhero, your superpower.
Your superpower
is building affordable modular housing in Portugal. A fantastic,
such a great incentive, and much
isn't it?
As well.
Modular Man is moving among us here in Portugal, in the epicenter of Leiria. All right, shall I play that music, Ben?
Go on then. Why not?
All right, so our new
intro
and outro music. Have a great week. I'll see you in the morning, and I'll be back with Ben next week at 8 o'clock on a Monday evening for another Find Your Home in Portugal. Ciao, ciao.